Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about Carcassi's Andantino in C major and how to play the chords. There are three basic types of chords in this piece, but the first thing you want to do is recognize that they are a chord. When you look at the notation, whether it's staff notation or tablature, the thing that tells you that it's a chord is that the notes are vertically aligned, or in the case of tablature, the numbers. So once you see that, that tells you that it's a chord, and you'll have to play those notes simultaneously. And there's three types of plucking techniques that we need to use in Andantino, and this would apply to most of the other solos in the textbook that come after this. And this very first chord in Andantino is a pinching technique. There's two notes, C on the second string and E on the fourth string. So they're separated by a few strings, and what we want to do when you have one note in the bass and one in the treble is we're going to pinch between the thumb and one of the fingers. In this case, the P and M. Sounds like this. That's it. Pinch the two notes. And right after that, there's a background accompaniment note, which is an open G, played on the offbeat, so you'll hear this texture. And that was the first line. So all the way through that, we have this pinching texture, pinch, pluck, pinch, pluck, pinch, pluck, pinch, pluck. Now at this point, the notes in the text are spread wider apart, meaning a higher note was a lower note. So I would select probably my ring finger, the A finger, to play that upper note. And then the final chord, you might have recognized already, is a C chord. And because it has four notes, you have a few choices of how to do that. 1B would be to pinch it between your thumb and three fingers. The three fingers, you line them up so the tips are exactly the same in the same plane, and then you pinch between your thumb like this. And that gives a very meaty, solid sound, but kind of plain. If you're playing a little slower, you might prefer the more luxurious sound of a strum, which would sound like this. A little more mellow, and it spreads across the beat. It looks easy, but what you have to do is aim very precisely, because it's only the four inner strings. You can't play all six like that, but you want. So you place the thumb on the lowest note of the chord, which is the fifth string C, and as you rake across, you stop it against the first string, and that gives you a very beautiful strum, but precise. You play exactly notes that are written. Next, we'll take a look at the second line of Andantino. This is dominated by a two-note chord on adjacent strings, and this is generally played with two fingers, two adjacent fingers. Makes sense. If you're playing these two strings, you'd want, and like the beginning, on the second half of the beat, we have that open G accompaniment. So it's just like plucking a single note. You lock the two fingers together so they move like one big finger, and again, that wave bye-bye motion. If I play the second line, so all the way through, basically, we have the two-note chord played with two fingers, offset by an open G accompaniment. At the very end of the phrase, we have a chord. Now, I strummed it with my fingers. You could strum it with your thumb. You can also play it with a pinch using three fingers, and that's the basics of playing the chords. See you next time.